Hey guys, it's Jaybird from Jaybird Fluke Fishing. I'm here today to give you a walkthrough of how I set up my Hobie Outback when I go fluke fishing. The season's a couple weeks away yet. End of May it'll kick off. Usually the third Saturday in May is when they tend to kick things off. So you got a couple weeks to prepare for the season. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough of my Hobie Outback, how I have it rigged up. If there's anything you like that you see and you need a little bit of guidance or direction of what I have to help you guys get things squared away before the season starts, that's the intent of today's video, to show you what I got, how I fish. If it's something you like, hopefully it'll help you guys out. So we can get started. Here's my Hobie Outback fully rigged. Let's take the next step and dive into how I have my kayak rigged. So right off the bat, this is where I store my paddle. It has a paddle leash to it, connected right to the kayak itself. The two brackets to hold the paddle with the clip to keep it secure, just like that. So the paddle comes right in on the platforms, fits in the groove, and goes up and over to secure the paddle, just like that. Obviously when I'm launching, that's the only time I'll use my paddle, or if my drive has complications, then I will paddle. But typically speaking, the paddle is going to be right in that same position after launching. The excess paddle leash here I will not have over the side of the kayak. I don't need that extra drag. So typically I'll tuck it up nicely underneath my seat so that it's not dragging in the water, and keep extra weight off the kayak. We'll start with the front of the kayak, then we'll move to the middle, and then we'll tackle the back half of the kayak. So up front, here we go. I have a couple ram mounts for the GoPro. I can link you with those ram mounts, but it's 3 or 4 different pieces to make it possible. That's how the GoPro captures my vision from this perspective, from the front of the kayak. Obviously the other GoPro is going to be on the top of my head, just like you're experiencing the vision right now. Up front I also have the Hobie hatch liner. In the hatch liner up front, I tend to stow extra bucktails and baits, usually things of 3 or 4 ounces. The heavier bucktails, the bigger gulp, things of that nature. I also have a scale up front in the event I catch a nice size fluke and I want to find out the weight, or at the end of the trip I can weigh it. Also in the front of the bucket I have a de-hooker. If the fish gets it down deep, I can use it right there to get the hook out. You can see me squeeze the trigger there to get the hook out, so that's up front as well. Got an extra glove in the event I forget mine or someone else needs them. Lastly is the Mirage Drive leash. This is important in the launch process as well. So typically the Mirage Drive is obviously secured in the kayak, but when you first launch you can't have the fins down or else you're going to hit the sand. So with the Mirage Drive being on deck just like this, if I have any launching complications, there goes my $600 Mirage Drive over the side of the boat. So to prevent that from happening, that's where the Mirage Drive leash comes into play. So 2 sides of the leash here. One side of the leash is going to get connected right to the actual unit itself. It's right here, just clip it in. You can see it right there. Side of the leash, I'm actually going to connect back underneath, right back here on that mount. So just clip in, and now I got the Mirage Drive leash right to on deck secure, and right to the drive system. So if I flip, I am secure. I'm locked in. After launching, obviously I'm going to unclip both sides. After I'm out far enough, I won't need the Mirage Drive leash. So the Mirage Drive leash will go back up front, and I can close up front and secure it tight for the trip. Then I can put the Mirage Drive unit into place, sliding it down, locking it in place. You heard it there, so it's good to go. Also up front, I have an extra rod holder if I want to troll, or just kind of put the rod down if I'm unhooking a fish. In the mesh pockets is where I will keep pliers, fish grips, things of that nature. Easy accessibility, makes life a lot easier. Also in the front centerpiece part of the kayak here is where I have my Lawrence Hook 4 chirp. It's fully installed, ready to go. Nice little mount here, aimed right at the seat, makes easy access for me to view it and get the immediate results that I need. The wires head in underneath the mesh pocket, down in through the groove, and down into the battery, which the battery is right below the actual unit. I can show you that here in a moment. So, if you didn't see my other video, I obviously installed the rectangular hatch. I don't have a circle hatch. If you need my video for the rectangular hatch, it's going to be posted right there for you, so take a look. I'm going to walk around the other side of the kayak here. Inside the kayak, inside the rectangular hatch, I have a drop insert bucket. This bucket's pretty friendly. I have a battery box to keep the battery safe, protected, dry, etc. If you need all the information of how to make a battery box like this, I'd be happy to get you all the details for that as well. Again, the battery sits right inside, right below the fish finder on the ledge on the inside. So that's where the battery's stored. The drop insert bucket obviously helps the battery from shifting towards the center of the kayak. It kind of keeps it in place. Inside the drop-in bucket, I obviously have two containers. I got one container for a phone. I got another container for car keys, pretty simple. Rubber seal gaskets to keep it safe and dry. Throw the keys in there, throw the phone in there. If I don't want it in this front hatch, you know, I could certainly put my phone and keys up front in the Hobie hatch liner up front. In the rectangle hatch is where I keep my pre-tied rigs. My pre-tied rigs obviously consist of hooks and bucktails and other pre-tied rigs. I also have terminal tackle in the back here with hooks and sinkers and all the other swivels and dulock snaps and everything else you could think of. Beneath my pre-tied rig bag is where I have a nice plano container. It stores the rest of the components that I need when I'm out there. Inside this plano container, I have 1 and 2 ounce bucktails ready to go. I got white, I got chartreuse, I got all different kinds of bucktails. I have Spros, I have S&S bucktails. I have fluke balls down here at the bottom. Over in the right here, I have another hook remover device. I have a Spyderco knife so that I can bleed out my fish. I have nice pliers from Penn to remove hooks or anything of that nature. And I got a pair of scissors, basic scissors for cutting line or snipping anything simple. Again, if I want to move any of that tackle or gear into my life vest has multiple compartments where I can easily store things. So that's something I'm definitely going to consider. So, plano container for now is staying down there with everything. Fits perfectly into the drop insert bucket. I got my pre-tied rigs. I got my phone. Got the car keys ready to go. Obviously not the most mandatory things in that bucket when I'm out there on the water. It's just currently how it's laid out. So I can shut the lid, seal it tight. There she goes. This is obviously when you're out there or when you're trying to land or launch. This will actually clip into your foot pedals so that you can land without the fins being down. So you can see the fins lay flat with that chain in command. So I'll unhook it here for you. Fins reset. Fins are back down, and you need to be careful when you're launching and landing. This part here obviously clips in the hook on the underside of the seat here. So there it goes, locked in. That is the clip that I used for my Mirage Drive leash when I was launching. So I'll just have this unhooked until I launch and I got it secured. Underneath the seat is the next direction of this walkthrough. Underneath the seat here, I have two nice gulp containers. I got swimming mullets, I got big 6-inch grubs, I got pogies, I got nemesis in here, I got sand eels, which you can see right there. Got quat and shrimp on the bottom. So I got a nice big combo between the two containers. Containers do float. If I do flip, it's the last thing I'm really concerned about. You know, the containers are $8 a piece, so for 20 bucks I can just replace it if I can't find it after it floats. I really don't want this stuff secured underneath where I have to go digging and finding everything over and over again. I'd rather just have it out and accessible. Underneath the seat I also have a bump board, which makes measuring fish very simple. This one's from Full Moon Outdoor Products. I think it was 30 bucks for this bump board. Nestle the fish right up here to the front, go all the way out. This year's size limit I think is going to be 19 or 20. Last year was obviously 18. We'll see what New Jersey and New York does for these size limits. On the back of the bumper, I cut a chunk of the back of the bumper off. You don't really need it. I didn't need it. Some people do. I don't use it, so I cut it off so that it fits under my seat left to right perfectly and I don't have any complications with it at all. So this is a big game clip. I use it when I'm bleeding out the fish. I will connect it to the kayak and let them bleed out. After they bleed out, I'll throw it in the cooler of the fish. So this big game clip, you know, just stays under the seat until I'm ready for action. And for this big game clip, you know, up through the gills, hook the fish in and secure it back tight. It's a little bit of a battle. The other part of these clips here, one of them will go to the kayak, the other one will stay to the big game clip. So that sits under the seat as well. So I got a bump board underneath there, I got a big game clip, I got two gulp containers, so that pretty much covers the bait and measurement and storage of fish. Here's my life vests. It is the Stolquist fish one. So Stolquist makes a nice fisherman life jacket. Has nice containers for storage. So I got the large, extra large for me. For chest size, fits perfect. Here's the Vantage seat, the new seat. Very comfortable. I do sit at the highest setting on the actual tabs. I do that so I can put things underneath and store things, as well as I'm up high, I can see things around me. In the back part of the kayak is where I put my kayak cart. It's a scupper cart. I don't have the wheels connected today, I left them at home, but the kayak cart would snug tight down behind the seat. The wheels would sit here comfortably. I can sit all the way back, I can tilt the seat back, it won't interfere. I got plenty of room because the wheels are on the outsides of the seat. It actually is nice shoulder support left and right when I lean back, so it's very comfortable. This cooler is perfect. It fits in the remaining storage area that I have left on the kayak. So this is a Rubbermaid cooler, pretty simple, 12-gallon, small cooler, 23 by 14 by 15. So again, 12 gallons, 23 by 14 by 15. Inside the cooler, I have two ice blocks that are used to ship out food. So it's like the industrial sized ice package blocks. They work perfect for fluke and flounder. The reason it does is because you can see how thin the ice blocks are and how thick and cold this ice is. It's actually hurting my hand from how cold it is. I will use garbage bags, and then I'll put the ice blocks in garbage bags so that they don't get yucky and gross. And I'll lay one on top of the fish and one below the fish for ultimate coldness. So it just basically freezes the fish, and I got plenty of room in there. In the next couple weeks, I will launch my biggest fish that I caught last year, and that fish fit in this cooler. So it was a nice size fluke. On the back side of the cooler, I mount here for my flag. This is a Railblazer flag. I'll show you here. The mount's right here. Fits very comfortable here in the cooler. I mounted it there, so it's snug, it's good, it's tight. How I secure the cooler, the extra strap that's in the back here, I simply tuck underneath the handles here a couple times. Secure to the kayak, run it back over here and lock it in place. So that's how I secure the cooler to the kayak. And I still leave the availability to flip the lid open to put the fish in and out. Obviously back here is another rod tube for another rod. And on the opposite side is the rod tube for my nice size rubber net. So I can take that bad boy out anytime, scoop up some monster fish with it. So it's a nice rubber net, real deep, fits 3, 4, 5 pound fluke, no problem. I'm excited to try it out on 5, 6, 7, 8 pounders this year. So pretty simple walkthrough today, pretty detailed. But if you have any questions or comments about the rigging, you know, I'm happy to link things down in the description for you if you liked any of the accessories or the layout that I did. The last cool bonus footage that you're gonna get is pick yourself up a FLO-MASTER weed killer bottle. You know, it's very handy. I use it when I come back in and I land. I can rinse off my feet, wash my hands, can rinse off rods, reels, can rinse off the Mirage Drive, anything sensitive to salt water. So nice, it's easy to fill up fresh water at home before you go on your trip, leave it in the trunk. Might get a little bit warm, but shouldn't hurt anything from warm water being in the car. So that's the bonus footage there. $15 will go a long way to keeping your expensive products safe and clean until you get home to clean things up more thoroughly. So again, hopefully you enjoyed my video today of my walkthrough of my Hobie Outback. This is Jaybird Fluke Fishing. Please subscribe, please like, please comment down below. I look forward to the season. If anybody wants to go out with me this year, throw it down in the comments. I'd be happy to connect with you and make something happen. I know plenty of places to take you at your own comfort level. I know basic launches, I know moderate launches, and I know advanced launches. So if you're interested in fishing with me, subscribe, like, comment below. You know, tell me about the layout that I got going here. Let me know if you want to fish when the season opens up here. So I know plenty of places to take you based on your expertise. So again, thanks for tuning in. Have a good season, guys. Be safe out there. Tight lines. I'll see you soon.